Let me tell you something, improvement doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't just fall into your lap. Every single day, you have to decide who you want to be. I didn't get here because I was the smartest guy in the room or the most talented. I got here because I worked on myself daily. I failed, I stumbled, I doubted myself, but I got up every single time and kept building brick by brick. Life will test you. Life will break you down if you let it. But if you learn to improve yourself daily, if you discipline your body, your mind, your spirit, you'll discover strength you didn't know you had. The little habits, the small choices, the things no one else sees, those are the very things that shape the man or woman you become. So today, I want to share with you some truths, not theory, not empty talk, but lessons I had to live through. These are the daily things you need to improve in your life if you truly want to rise above where you are right now. And I promise you, if you take them seriously, your life will never be the same again. A discipline creates freedom. That's something I had to learn the hard way. See, people often look at success and think it's built on talent, on being in the right place at the right time, on some magical opportunity that falls into your lap. But let me tell you, without discipline, all that talent, all that opportunity, all that potential, it will slip through your fingers. I didn't get to where I am because I was born special. I got here because every single day I made a choice to show up, a choice to practice, a choice to keep going when nobody was watching, when nobody was clapping, when nobody even believed I could do it. I remember early in my life, doors didn't just swing open for me. I was rejected, I was doubted, I was told no more times than I can count. And those no's can crush you if you let them. But discipline taught me that even when the world tells you no, you can still tell yourself yes. Discipline doesn't care about how you feel. It doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about whether or not you're tired. Discipline says, get up, do it again, build, keep building. And I had to learn that freedom, the freedom to choose my path, the freedom to achieve my goals, the freedom to stand on the other side of failure, came only after I was willing to discipline myself in the dark, when no one else was around. There were nights when I had scripts in my hand, and I read them over and over until the words lived inside of me. Not because someone told me to, not because I had an audience, but because I knew if I wasn't prepared, if I wasn't sharp, the opportunity that came my way would pass me by. You don't rise to the level of your dreams. You fall to the level of your discipline. And if you haven't trained yourself to stay ready, you'll miss what was meant for you. Discipline isn't glamorous. It's not something people clap for. Nobody is cheering you on at 5 a.m. when you get up to put in the work. Nobody's applauding you when you're tired, but you still finish what you started. Discipline is quiet. It's lonely. It's uncomfortable. But it's in that discomfort that you grow. Every day, I had to choose between the easy way and the right way. And let me tell you, the easy way never builds you. The easy way leaves you weak. It's discipline that makes you strong enough to carry the weight of your calling. People ask me, Denzel, what's the secret? And I tell them, there is no secret. The truth is, you've got to be willing to do the hard things, the boring things, the unseen things day after day, without applause, without recognition, until one day, the results speak so loud that nobody can ignore you. That's what discipline does. It makes you undeniable. I think back to when I was a young man, struggling to figure out who I was and where I was going. I didn't know what tomorrow would look like, but what I did know was that if I kept putting one discipline step in front of the other, eventually I'd walk into the place I was meant to be. And that's what happened. One choice at a time, one disciplined action after another. So when I tell you discipline creates freedom, I mean it. It's the freedom to walk into a room confident because you've prepared. It's the freedom to take on challenges without fear because you've trained your mind and body for the fight. It's the freedom to live without regret because you know you've everything you had. That's a kind of freedom no one can give you and no one can take away from you. Every day you've got to ask yourself, am I choosing discipline or am I choosing comfort? Because your future is being built on the answer to that question. I'm standing here today because I chose discipline. Not once, not twice, but every single day. And if you want freedom in your life, freedom to be who you're called to be, freedom to rise above your struggles, freedom to stand tall in the face of failure, you're going to have to choose discipline too. When I look back over my life, the thing that has carried me through every storm, every failure, every setback is the balance between humility and hunger. You see, being humble doesn't mean you think less of yourself. It means you don't let pride blind you from the truth. And being hungry doesn't mean desperate. It means never being satisfied with what you've already done, because there's always more inside you waiting to be discovered. I learned that the hard way, because early in my career, when I had one good performance, people clapped, people cheered, and for a moment, I thought I had arrived. But success is tricky. It can seduce you, make you think you don't have to work as hard anymore. That's when humility steps in, that reminder that you're never bigger than the work, you're never bigger than the craft, and you're certainly never bigger than God. I stayed hungry because I knew the world wasn't going to hand me anything. When you're hungry, you don't just wait for opportunities, you chase them, you prepare for them, you're ready when the door cracks open. I can't tell you how many auditions I walked into knowing that I might hear no, but my hunger made me walk in like it was already yes. And my humility made me walk out still ready to learn, still ready to accept that maybe I had more to sharpen, more to grow, more to discipline. That's how you grow daily, by understanding you are a work in progress, always under construction. I've seen people lose it all because they stopped being humble. They thought the applause meant the work was done. They forgot that the same crowd that cheers you today can forget you tomorrow. But when you stay humble, you don't get trapped in that cycle of highs and lows. You remember that you are not defined by the praise or the criticism. You're defined by your consistency, your character, your faith, and your hunger to keep getting better. Hunger is what makes you get up when the alarm rings and your body says, stay in bed. Hunger is what makes you pick up that book instead of wasting time. Hunger is what makes you say no to distractions and yes to discipline. It is a fire inside of you that doesn't burn out when you get a little success. It burns brighter. And when that fire is controlled by humility, you don't let it consume you with ego. You let it guide you with purpose. I didn't grow up with a silver spoon. I didn't have a guaranteed path to success. But I had hunger. I wanted to prove to myself, not just the world, that I could do something meaningful, something lasting. I knew if I could improve a little every day, learn a little more, sharpen my skills, listen to the wisdom of others, I would keep climbing. And the higher I climbed, the more I realized I had to stay grounded, because pride is a heavy weight that can drag you back down faster than failure ever could. There were nights I prayed not for fame, not for money, but for strength to keep going, strength to stay true to myself. And that's part of humility, knowing you can't do it all on your own, knowing you need God's hand to guide you, knowing you need people to teach you, to push you, to correct you. My mother used to tell me, boy, you may be special, but you're not better than anybody else. That stayed with me. And at the same time, I told myself, don't you dare settle. Don't you dare get comfortable. Stay hungry. Every single day, you can improve by asking yourself two questions. Am I staying humble enough to learn? And am I staying hungry enough to grow? If the answer is yes, then you are already ahead of most. If the answer is no, then you know what you need to do today. Life doesn't improve by chance. It improves by choice. And those choices are made in the small moments, in the daily grind, when nobody is watching. So don't let success fool you into thinking you've arrived. Don't let failure convince you it's over. Stay humble, stay hungry, and you'll keep rising. Because the truth is, you're not competing with anyone else. You're competing with the version of yourself you were yesterday. And if you can beat that person, if you can outgrow him, outwork him, outlearn him, then day by day, piece by piece, you'll become everything you were meant to be. Focus. Focus is everything. Let me tell you something. I didn't make it this far because I was lucky or because I had some magic formula that guaranteed success. No, I made it here because I learned the hard way what it means to focus. I didn't always know how to do that. There were times when my mind was scattered, when distractions looked more attractive than discipline, when the easy road called my name louder than the hard one. But life taught me a valuable lesson. You cannot build anything strong. You cannot accomplish anything meaningful if you don't learn to focus. When I was young, I had big dreams, but I didn't always have a clear direction. I thought talent was enough. I thought passion was enough. But I soon realized passion without focus is like fire without a fireplace. It burns wild, it burns bright for a moment, but it doesn't last, and it can even destroy you. Talent without focus will waste years of your life. You can be gifted, but if you're distracted, if you don't know how to channel that gift, you'll look back one day and wonder why you never reached the place you were meant to be. I remember nights when rejection piled up. I went to auditions, I got turned down. I got told I wasn't good enough. And you know what's worse than failure? Distraction. Because when you're distracted, you stop preparing, you stop giving everything you've got. Distraction is the silent killer of dreams. But focus is the weapon that cuts through all the noise. I had to learn to say no. No to people who didn't believe in me. No to habits that drained me. No to opportunities that looked good, but weren't aligned with my purpose. Every no I gave was really a yes to my future. Focus is not about doing everything. It's about doing the right thing. Every day I had to decide, will I give my energy to what matters, or will I scatter it on things that look exciting in the moment, but leave me empty tomorrow? Let me tell you, when you focus, you start to see life differently. You stop chasing every opinion. You stop trying to please everyone. You stop living for approval. You begin to concentrate on the assignment God gave you, the dream planted inside of you. And when you focus on that, you become unstoppable. Because no storm, no setback, no criticism can break a person who is locked in on their purpose. I'm not going to lie. It's hard. It's hard to stay focused when life throws temptations at you every single day. Social media, negativity, doubt, fear, all of it is designed to steal your attention. But if you want something greater, if you want to rise to a higher level, you've got to learn to block out the noise. You've got to learn to quiet the voices that tell you you can't, and amplify the voice inside you that says, I must. I train my mind to focus on the work, not the reward. Because when you chase the reward, you get frustrated. But when you focus on the work, when you focus on doing your best in this very moment, the rewards take care of themselves. That's what I've learned in my journey. Don't worry about being seen. Don't worry about being celebrated. Just stay focused on your craft, on your grind, on your growth. One day the world won't be able to ignore you. And let me say this, focus is not just about career or dreams, it's about life. Focus on your family. Focus on your health. Focus on your character. Because what good is success if your life is falling apart behind the scenes? Every day, you've got to decide where your attention goes. Because whatever you water will grow. If you water distractions, they'll take over your life. But if you water discipline, love, purpose, and excellence, that's exactly what will flourish. So if there's one thing I can leave you with, it's this: master the art of focus. Protect your energy like your life depends on it. Because it does. Don't let the noise of the world drown out the voice of your purpose. Stay committed. And remember, where your focus goes, your future flows. I've learned in my life that the people you surround yourself with either build you up or slowly tear you down. You can't live a great life with small-minded company. I remember when I was just starting out, when I was young, I didn't fully understand this. I thought talent alone was enough, that I could just rely on myself, keep my head down, and the world would eventually recognize me. But what I discovered along the way is that who walks with you matters just as much as the path you're on. You can be headed in the right direction, but if the people around you are pulling you back, you'll never reach your destination. I had people in my life who didn't see what I saw. They didn't believe in the dream I carried. They laughed at the idea of me making something of myself. They told me to be realistic, to settle for less, to accept what the world was willing to give. And I had a choice: keep listening to those voices, or start surrounding myself with people who could see beyond the present, people who pushed me higher, people who lived with purpose. And let me tell you, that decision changed everything. When you walk with purpose-driven people, you start to notice a shift in your own spirit. Their energy becomes contagious. Their vision makes your vision sharper. They demand excellence, not because they're perfect, but because they refuse to settle. I remember being around people who worked harder than me, who believed deeper than me, who prayed stronger than me, and I couldn't help but rise to their level. They didn't let me play small. They challenged me. They checked me. They made me uncomfortable. And that discomfort is what pushed me to grow. Sometimes improving your life daily isn't about adding something new. It's about subtracting. Subtracting those voices of doubt. Subtracting those friends who only want to waste time. Subtracting the people who only clap when you're down because it makes them feel taller. It hurts to let go. It hurts to say goodbye. But ask yourself this: if someone doesn't add to your growth, what are they really doing in your life? You only get one life. You can't afford to keep company with people who drain your energy and dim your light. There were nights when I sat in silence, asking myself, am I choosing the right people to walk with? Because the truth is, the wrong company will disguise itself as loyalty. They'll say, I've been here since the beginning, I'll be here to the end. But loyalty without purpose is dangerous. You can have loyal friends who will sit with you in the mud, but never help you climb out. And then you can have purpose-driven people who may not have known you forever, but when they come into your life, they help you reach heights you never imagined. Which one do you think you need? I surrounded myself with people of faith, with people who believed in hard work, with people who dreamed big. Not perfect people, not flawless people, but people who were going somewhere. And every day, I improved because they wouldn't let me stay the same. They reminded me that greatness isn't a one-time achievement, it's a daily pursuit. They reminded me that discipline, humility, and vision are non-negotiables. And because I stayed close to those voices, I kept moving forward when I could have easily given up. So if you want to improve your life daily, look around you. Who's in your circle? Who has your ear? Who speaks into your spirit? Are they planting seeds of growth or seeds of doubt? Because no matter how strong you think you are, eventually the company you keep will influence the person you become. Iron sharpens iron. That's not just a phrase. It's a principle. And if you keep dull company, you will dull your own edge. I am where I am today, not just because of my own decisions, but because of the people I chose to walk with. People who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. People who pushed me when I wanted to stop. People who reminded me of my purpose when I got distracted. That's why I tell you, choose wisely. Surround yourself with purpose-driven people, and you will discover a strength in yourself you didn't know was there. That's how you improve daily. That's how you rise. When I talk about never stopping learning, I'm not just throwing out some nice sounding phrase. I'm telling you something I had to live through. Because let me be honest with you, there was a time in my life when I thought I had it figured out. I thought talent was enough. I thought passion was enough. But the truth is, talent can take you somewhere, yes, but it won't keep you there. What keeps you there? What helps you grow? What carries you through the storms? Is the hunger to keep learning every single day. I didn't come from privilege. I didn't grow up with every door open. I had to learn that weren't even meant for me. I had to study people. I had to study life. I had to pay attention. When I failed, I asked myself, why? What can I learn from this? When I succeeded, I didn't sit back and celebrate for too long. I asked myself, what's the next lesson? What do I still need to sharpen? Because the moment you stop learning, you start dying. The moment you think you've arrived, you're already falling behind. Every role I took, every project, every opportunity, I treated it like a classroom. The world is a classroom if you have the eyes to see it. Your pain will teach you. Your joy will teach you. Your struggles will teach you. I learned from rejection. I learned from the nights when I thought about giving up. I learned from the people who doubted me. Every single experience became a teacher, and I was the student. And that's what I'm telling you. Stay a student. Stay humble enough to know that you don't know everything. Stay hungry enough to keep seeking knowledge. I remember sitting with mentors, listening more than I spoke, writing things down, watching how they carried themselves. I studied discipline. I studied focus. I studied persistence. And even today, after decades of working, after awards and recognition, I don't stop. Because there's always another level. There's always something new to understand about your craft, about people, about life itself. You want to improve your life daily. Pick up a book. Not just the ones that entertain you, but the ones that challenge you, the ones that stretch your mind. Ask questions, even when it makes you feel uncomfortable. Surround yourself with people smarter than you, people who inspire you, people who force you to rise higher. Don't let your pride block your growth. Be willing to say, I don't know, but I'm willing to learn. I've seen too many people lose their way because they thought learning was something you finish when you graduate. But life doesn't hand out diplomas. Life hands out lessons every single day, and the only way you grow is if you're open enough to receive them. You get better when you learn to listen, when you observe, when you reflect. Sometimes the biggest lessons come in silence, in stillness, in paying attention to the little details that others overlook. I want you to think about this. Every day you wake up is an opportunity to add something new to yourself. Maybe it's wisdom, maybe it's a skill, maybe it's patience, maybe it's resilience. But if you go to bed the same person you were when you woke up, then you've wasted the day. Don't let the day waste you. Improve, grow, expand. And listen, this isn't just about success in your career. This is about life. Learning how to love better, learning how to forgive, learning how to manage your time, learning how to discipline your habits, learning how to take care of your body, your spirit, your relationships, learning how to fail gracefully, how to rise when life knocks you down. Every single area of your life can be improved if you're willing to learn. So when I say never stop learning, I'm speaking from a place of truth. I'm telling you what kept me alive, what kept me moving forward, what kept me hungry. Don't settle. Don't think yesterday's wisdom is enough for today's battles. Keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, keep your heart open. Be a student of life every day until the day you leave this earth. That's how you improve your life daily, by never stopping, never slowing down, never being too proud to learn something new,